thank you, and thank you. Welcome to Thursday Night Football with Calvin Dean, sponsored by the NFL Network. Wow, do we have a show for you today? Woo! Yeah, I'm telling you, the Aaron Rodgers saga is continuing. He is holding out of camp. And I don't know, man. I feel so sorry for all the Aaron Rodgers fans and the Green Bay fans because, man, that's just not good. That's not good for Green Bay, that's for sure. And in the news, Tua, the QB, yes, the quarterback in Miami yesterday just had a horrible practice. 5 interceptions. I mean, he looked terrible. And I'm telling you something, that new vamped Miami offense and that new whole entire team looks so good. But man, I just don't see Tua doing it, guys. I just don't see it. He doesn't have that big gun arm. He's more of a intermediate passer, very accurate that way. But man, he 5 interceptions. That's just... He looked bad. He looked bad in practice, guys. I mean, he looked really bad in practice. And I'm telling you something. Ever since they got rid of Mr. Fitzmagic, I mean, he's just... I don't know. I think that was a bad move. I think they should have kept Fitzpatrick. Last year, they had a winning record, and then they pulled Fitzpatrick for Tua. I didn't understand that one. I still don't understand that one. I mean, I'm dumbfounded, I'm dumbfounded. I mean, how about the quarterbacks this year, Of course, I mean, I ranked Aaron Rodgers as number 1, and he's not in camp. I have number 2, Mr. GOAT himself, Tom Brady, and then of course Patrick Mahomes and then Josh Allen and Russell Wilson and Deshaun Watson, and then I have Lamar Jackson and in the fold and Ryan Tannehill, and I'm telling you something, Justin Herbert, he is going to light it up this year, and watch out for him. And one person that you have to watch out for that has looked dynamic in practice and just all that and then some. I mean, yeah, it's Mr. Trevor Lawrence and Jags. I mean, the Jacksonville Jags, man. I mean, they got to be excited. He looks so good in practice. Wow. I mean, got to watch it, guys. Got to watch him. He just made the Calvin Dean All-World Club, Mr. Trevor Lawrence. You're on it, baby. You are on it officially today. And I'm telling you, he's going to be dangerous, people. He's going to be a sleeper. I don't think he's a sleeper, but I think he's going to really do great in fantasy football. He is such a talent, guys. I mean, just got to watch out for him. And I'm telling you something, the huge trade, that's what this show was going to be all about. Julio Jones. Yes, Julio Jones. Yeah. Wow, you hear that? The crowd is going nuts. That is a tandem to just be reckoned with. Mr. Brown and Julio Jones. I mean, the wideouts, and then Henry. Oh my God, guys. I mean, that's going to be a team that's hard to stop. All they need to do is stop the other team. And with their defense, that was their problem. Man, when the other teams went ahead, they had a hard time coming back because of their, the way that offense rolls. But man, it got Julio Jones. What are you going to do? Think about it. You get 9 in the box, and you got Julio and Brown on the outside. Oh my God. I mean, you can't do that anymore with this team, and it's going to make even Mr. Henry better. Man, that's a dangerous team. I mean, the danger. The Tennessee Titans look all world this year. I mean, that was a huge trade. Man, I just can't see anyone even remotely stopping them. Like I said, their defense is going to have to stop people. I mean, they just put themselves right in the thick of things, man. I mean, they really did. With that move, wow, that was an all-world move. Yeah, just an all-world move. I mean, who's going to stop that tandem? Think about it, guys. I don't know. I mean, it's going to be a really, really tough time to stop that team. I mean, it's all on Tannehill, and Tannehill's, pretty good. It's all on Tannehill, people. It's all on him because, I mean, if he fails, then the team fails. And now the thing of it is, I mean, we're all hyped. We're all just psyched about Julio. We really are, man. It's like, wow, But he has been hurt for the past 2 years. Yeah, he has been hurt, and he's only made it in a few games, So, I mean, that's the question mark with Julio Jones. I mean, his age for number one, and his availability. It's all about availability. It's like Odell Beckham, I mean, the guy is just a phenom on the field. But when he's on the field, it's availability, and it makes him not that great of wideout when you're not available, when you're getting hurt all the time. I mean, that's not good, guys. That's just not good, and just wow, I'm telling you, they it's interesting. It's interesting to think about it. All these teams, all the different players on these teams. But man, this Julio, it's going to be tough. It's going to be very, very tough for him to, just for anyone to stop him. For anyone to stop him. So it's going to be fun. It's going to be fun. And then you have the elephant in the room, the Packers. I mean, Aaron Rodgers not reporting, and then Jordan Love just sucking, and man, I'm just feel sorry for the Green Bay Packers on that end, that's for sure. And I'm telling you something, the Green Bay Packers, shame on the coaching staff, shame on management for letting him go like this and letting this happen. This is all on management, people. It's all on management. Here you have the best NFL quarterback in the NFL right now. And what are you doing? What are you doing? You're just you're a disgrace. You're a disgrace. And if I was ownership, I'd get rid of management ASAP. That's for sure. And the Atlanta Falcons. I mean, the Atlanta Falcons are looking forward with Kyle Pitts, taking over. I mean, he's this great, phenomenal tight end. One of these kind of tight ends only come once in a lifetime, like Gronk, and Kelsey. I mean, there's not many like that, and this is one for the record books right here because he's even faster than those guys that I just mentioned. He's just as big. I mean, this Kyle Pitts is going to be just unstoppable. And I just feel sorry for anyone facing the Atlanta offense. I mean, how are they going to stop those guys? Even with Julio gone, they're not going to. That team is stacked, guys, stacked. And I'm just worried about teams going against them. But once, I mean, they are one of those teams that they have to score at least 36, points to win the game. I mean, they allowed, what was it, average of like 32 points last year per game. So, I mean, their defense, yeah, so it's all about the defense, guys. It's all about their defense and seeing what's going to go on with the offense. And, I mean, God, Kyle Pitts, I'm just watching it right now, and he looks so good. And, he's this young buck, and now Julio's gone, and Kyle Pitts, they even have a better player. Yeah, better than Julio. And Atlanta's going to be tough, people, this year. This is going to be a fun year. Trevor Lawrence with the Jags just stepping it up. Unfortunately, I think the Jets will be the Jets still. I think they have another year or two to maybe, just maybe, make that team better. I think the Bengals are in trouble this year as well because they have some hurt players on the offensive line already, and their offensive line is not deep at all. And guys, I'm not sold on the Bengals this year. I'm just not. I mean, I feel sorry for Burrows. You know, he got hurt last year. I predicted that before last season, and I'm sorry I did predict something like that, but I told everyone if he starts, he will get hurt. And he comes back with that offensive line that they have. Oh, man, I feel so sorry for Mr. Burrows, because still Cincinnati is still going to be Cincinnati this year. They'll be a little bit better, but man, they really needed to draft an offensive lineman like Sewell, Penei Sewell, that went to the Lions. And that's disappointing in that end. There's a lot of teams that are going to be on the upswing this year. On the downswing, I think Philadelphia's on the downswing. New York Giants are on the upswing. The Dallas Cowboys are question marked. I know Dak Prescott's going to be back, but come on, man. The compound fracture of his ankle, you think it's going to be fully healed by the season opener? No, it's not going to be, guys. I guarantee you it's not. He's not going to be at 100% for maybe another season. Let's just be honest. I mean, I used to play the game in baseball and football in college, and baseball, in the minors. And I'm telling you guys, it's just, you get an injury like that, and you just don't come back. I know it's been changed because of all the technology of health care and all that good stuff. And just amazing what they do. They scoped my knee. It was amazing what they did. I had a torn ACL, and they fixed that. And it was great. I mean, get a little bit of I still have a little numbness in the knee, but man, I can do cuts and play tennis and golf and run and still. But you're talking about an ankle compound fracture of the ankle, which is it's compound fracture, guys. That means the bone comes out of the skin. The bone fully separates from the foot, from the leg. That's scary for number one. Very scary. And there's a lot of tendons in that area, and just a lot of everything. And he had to get screws put in and a halo cast around his leg. I mean, it was nasty. It was nasty. And for him to be 100% by game one, I'm not buying it. I'm not buying it. I'm just not buying it. I'm sorry, Dallas fans. I'm not buying it. I think Dallas will get a better record than last year, a little bit better record than last year. Maybe 9-8. Maybe it'll have a winning season. I don't know. I don't know. I just don't know. Either they'll have an 8-9 season or a 9-8 season. It's either or. I think the two contenders for that division, believe it or not, I think the Giants and the Washington football team will be competing for that division. I really do think that. It's the Washington football team got Mr. Fitzmagic, and they look all world. And that defense, they shored it up, the defense up in the draft. That was an awesome move. And then the Lions. I mean, trading their number one receiver, Kenny Galladay, to the New York Giants. I mean, come on, guys. I mean, Galladay. I mean, and they picked up some great talent the Giants picked up some great talent in the draft. I mean, wideouts, and then they have Barkley back. I mean, come on, man. The Giants are definitely going to be rocking this year. The only question mark is their offensive line, which they've tried to shore up in the draft as well. Giants had a good draft, people. Giants had a really good draft. I feel for the Giants. I think they're going to have a lot better team. They might even go like 10-8 and win the division. It's going to be between the Giants and the Washington football team for that division. I can guarantee you. I think the GOAT on that, I think it will be like Philadelphia will get maybe four wins and like 13 losses or something like that. I think Philly's on their way down. I really do. And man, Carson Wentz is going to be loving life large in Indianapolis, because Carson Wentz, he's going to be the comeback player of the year. I guarantee you that. It'll be Carson Wentz, and people are going to eat in their crow about him, and he's going to have this breakout season with the Indianapolis Colts. And I'm telling you something, they're going to go deep in the playoffs. The Colts will go deep in the playoffs this coming year. I think the New England Patriots will putter out. I see them as maybe a contender this year. I don't see Miami as a contender with Tua. I just don't see that happening. I really don't. But I think New England will definitely be in the thick of things with Buffalo. Now, if Cam Newton can really gel with that new team that they acquired, that $162 million free agency bombshell that they got before the draft this year, New England Patriots look tough, guys. But they have Cam Newton. Now, Cam, I love you. I think you're a great talent. I don't know if you're the same Cam Newton as you were a few years ago, especially the time that you brought your team to the Super Bowl. I just don't see your arm strength as crisp as it was when you made it to the Super Bowl that year, and then I think your running and getting hit so much is changing you. I think so. And then last year when you went in New England and they had absolutely no offense, and all you had to do is drop back and try to run the ball as a running back. And I feel sorry for you, man. I feel sorry for you. And I just don't think you're up to it any longer. I think you've lost your Mo or your Joe. I love your bro, but man, Cam, your mojo, it's not around. Either, like I said, either it's the Mo or the Joe that you lost, man. And I just don't see it happening. I think Mac Jones will probably be instated after their half the season. I think they'll be losing half the season. I think Mac Jones will come in and he'll guide the team to maybe a winning season. Maybe. I think maybe barely a winning season with the New England Patriots. But I think it's Buffalo's division to lose. I think it's their division to lose. That's for sure. I think this year, that there's 3 rookies that you guys should actually be looking at, and all you guys who are fantasy football nuts, I think you have to mark this down. Trey Sermon, 3rd round pick, and he was at OSU last season. That's Ohio State University, and he's now on the San Francisco 49ers. I think that's Nikki's Niners. Nikki, you got a great one there. Trey is going to be a very, very, very definitely a surprise, and you guys are going to love him, man. He is just wow. My second pick is a rookie that is going to be. I think he's going to just a sleeper in fantasy football this year. That's Javon Williams. He's a 2nd round pick. He is from the University of North Carolina. That kid had 22 total touchdowns in 2020. Come on, man. 22 touchdowns in college, 1 year, and I think Javante Williams, I'm sorry, is going to be a sleeper. He's going to do great for the Broncos. And hats off to the Broncos on that one. Think about that, guys. They have Melvin Gordon, right? And Javante Williams. Wow. I mean, what a tandem. And no wonder, I think the Broncos, they didn't even go near a quarterback in this last draft. They're really hooked on Locke. Either Drew Locke, or they think that maybe they're going to get Deshaun Watson. But I don't think so. I think they're really into Locke. I think the kid I really do. I believe that Drew Locke it's going to be a breakout year this year. This is going to be his breakout year. And watch out, guys. That Denver Bronco defense and offense, they could be making it into the AFC Championship game. Watch out. Watch out for the Broncos this year. The Broncos and the Indianapolis Colts. I'm telling you, those two teams, you would say, oh, no, it's going to be Kansas City and Baltimore or Kansas City and Tennessee. You know what I mean? No. I'm telling you guys. I'm going to tell you guys. Watch out for the Broncos and the Indianapolis Colts. Watch out. Those two teams are going to be really good this year. Now, Javon Williams, he averaged over 4-point-some-odd yards per carry last year for UNC, and I'm telling you something, that kid is really good, guys. He looks really, really good. Now, I'm telling you something, I think this next running back is going to be one of the first running backs to go in fantasy football, guys. Now, of course, everyone knows about this one. I mean, his name is Najee Harris. He was the 24th overall pick in the 2021 NFL draft. He's from Alabama. Hello. Alabama, right? I mean, BA territory. And I'm telling you something. This kid had 30 touchdowns from scrimmage last season. 30 touchdowns. A running back, Najee Harris. I mean, and Pittsburgh has been just thirsting for that. Connors was traded, and now Najee Harris. Wow, what a pickup, guys! I mean, this perfect for that football team for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Their football team thrives on running backs, and then Ben with that play action. He's such a great quarterback, one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL. Ben Roethlisberger, when it comes to play action passing, him and the GOAT Tom Brady are like hand in hand on that one, man. They're one of the two best at that. At the way they hide the ball, and oh man, I'm telling you something. Watch out for Pittsburgh, but Pittsburgh's a question mark. Also, it's a question mark, but they'll be tough. That's going to be a tough division. Think about that, man. The Cleveland Browns. Wow. I mean, Cleveland. Whew. They're just wow. I mean, they have Odell Beckham back. They sure that defensive line. Wow. I mean, I'm scared. It's going to be a fun year, guys. It's going to be a real fun year. I think the whole league is evening itself out with the new salary cap. That's what it's all about, guys. Teams that are very, very, very good at picking, like Mahomes, the Kansas City Chiefs, picking him up. I mean, that was a huge, huge find. It's just you just have to look at it that way. I mean, these guys, these scouts that go out and scout these kids, I mean, the Kansas City Chiefs, all world on that one. Think about it. Look at the team that they have. That was all draft choices. Think about it, guys. Kelsey, yeah. I mean, you got the cheetah, and Mahomes. I mean, their team is rocked with draft choices other than their offensive line, and that still kind of suspect. This year they did get out the big offensive tackle from the Baltimore Ravens, and that's Brown. And I'm telling you something. What a stupid move on Baltimore. Here you can't beat this team. They always, you come close to beating Kansas City, your nemesis. And what do? You trade the best offensive tackle in the league because you can't get along with him, and you trade him to the team that you can't beat. How stupid of a trade is that? I mean, you just think about it, how stupid that is. Now think about this. Atlanta Falcons, right? They weren't going to trade Julio Jones to an NFC team. Are you kidding me? No way would they do that. What? They're going to get egg in their faces? And now the Baltimore Ravens trade the best offensive tackle in the NFL to the Kansas City Chiefs. Wow. I mean, why would you trade the best offensive tackle, Orlando Brown? Why would you trade him to your nemesis? Help me out with this one. I don't understand the logic. Here you have the Atlanta Falcons, who are somewhat of a bottom dweller, team, and they make a smart move by trading away Julio Jones to the AFC. I mean, why would you? Atlanta doesn't play Tennessee that many times. I mean, they're not in your division. Wow. That just dumbfounds me. It dumbfounds me. I just don't see why that goes on like that. I don't know. I'm sorry. I go off on this kind of stuff. I'm honest. I'm pretty knowledgeable with this stuff. I even told everyone when the Kansas City Chiefs lost their offensive tackle in the Buffalo Bill game, I said right then and there, man, they're going to lose. There's no way they're going to stop the Tampa Bay Buccaneers from getting to the quarterback. Was I right? I was right. I said that he would get sacked and he would have up to 2 interceptions. 2 interceptions. I actually predicted 2 interceptions. I was right. And I predicted that the Tampa Bay Bucks would beat them by 17 points. That was the only thing I was wrong about. They won by 12. If you would have listened to me and bet on that game and put all your money from your house, your kids' college funds, and everything, you would have been a very, very wealthy person at this moment in time. So that's the reason why you got to keep watching and listening to my show. And it's definitely, I know my stuff. I know who, the reason why I think is because I don't have a favorite team. I just don't have one, and I try to, make sure that I know, the team before I even evaluate them. I look at tapes. I look at their everything, man. I look at so many different things, so many different takes, and takes meaning film and takes from different reporters and who's on the ground and who's not. And I read the people who are pessimists and optimists alike, and I compare all that, and I compare injury reports and who plays better in certain weather, and what team plays better in certain weather, or they don't play different or anything like that. I do that, and what's so good about that is that you get a complete picture on why I'm picking games, and it's exciting. I love this time of year right now. You get to know all these teams, and and it's like Tua looking like a third string quarterback in practice, and not looking good at all, guys, not looking good at all. And Jordan Love, another one that is just bombing. Just terrible. I mean, throwing one interception or another, letting himself get. I thought he could scramble. Aaron Rodgers jukes people and he throws it. And he's getting tackled. Dude. Jordan Love is getting sacked in practice. sacked in practice. He's throwing interceptions. Now, mind you, I'm okay with that because when they throw interceptions, they're trying things. They need to try things now. I mean, all these kids need to try things now. They need to hone in on their craft and pass and be very accurate, or even work on their accuracy. But then they need to see what they can do and what they can't do in the NFL. And Jordan Love, man, that's the reason why Aaron Rodgers is out, man, because Jordan Love is not the heir apparent. I guarantee you, he is not the heir apparent. So, people, I hope you got a lot out of this show. Julio Jones, wow. The Tennessee Titans, wow. I mean, hats off, man. Hats off, Julio. You are the man. And mind you, Julio Jones is on the Calvin Dean's All-World Club. I mean, he is on that team, the All-World team. He's on that team, mind you. And Trevor Lawrence became that team mate of Mr. Julio Jones. And there's a reason why. It's the Calvin Dean All-World team, guys. It's the All-World Club, All-World team. We're all one big team. And I'm telling you something, I picked the best on this team. And I think Trevor Lawrence is going to be pretty spectacular this year. I feel for Dak Prescott. I love you, brother. I hope you really have a good year. Watch yourself with that leg, that's for sure. I don't think the Cowboys are ready yet. Maybe a year from now, and they might be into the playoffs in another year. But I don't think the Dallas Cowboys are going to make the playoffs this year. I think the Chicago Bears will. I mean, the Chicago Bears and Justin Fields. Now this is the Chicago Bears. Ready? They say that Andy Dalton. Yes, Andy Dalton is the Chicago Bears. He is their starting quarterback. Yes, guys, Andy Dalton. I mean, Andy Dalton. Yeah. Come on. If you believe that, I mean, Santa Claus is going to come down the chimney this year and give you $1 million in gold. So, no, Andy Dalton will not be starting for the Chicago Bears. It will be Justin Fields. I can guarantee you that. I think Justin Fields, he's going to be a good one. And Chicago's going to look good, especially if Mr. Rodgers doesn't make it into camp. That's for sure. Well, guys, thank you for tuning into Thursday Night Football with Calvin Dean, sponsored by the NFL Network. I will see you again next week.